Donuts. Yeah, I forgot about donuts.
There is actually a very interesting saying in Russian: one head is always better than two heads. And I really like this saying, first of all, because I have a dirty mind and it always makes me giggle. Second is because we are talking here about From, and this is a TV show that will require not one mind but many minds to uncover its secrets. And this is why after Crazy Sunday and a little bit less crazy but still very fast-paced Monday, we take a little break on Tuesday and we read your comments. Because you, my friends, are not less sharper, smarter or focused than me while analyzing this show, sometimes even way more smarter than me. And this is why in this video I want to read my favorite comments under the video of review episode 6, and let's see if there's something interesting we can discuss today. I love this because this is my chance to somehow give the stage to you, because you fucking deserve it. Julia Mihalescu, congrats for everything, huge fan. I want to share an opinion about why Roger has been turned into Dool. Man in Yellow, I think, turned Roger into Doll because one of the Scarecrow died and now Roger will take its place. I was discussing this in the video, so I guess great minds think alike. Like when Boyd killed Smiley and Smiley returns, being burned by Fatima. And in the teaser of season 4, which you commented about a month ago, very interesting clues. There is a scene in the shed when Sophia is laid over somebody and says, "It's time to play." So I believe it's Roger who is deposit in this shed. Well, pretty obvious. I think it's we can be almost 100% confident that this is actually Roger, and he's gonna go to play somehow. I don't know, in my mind it still looks a little bit ridiculous and less scary, more funny than Roger will start walking through the town and terrorize everybody like, "Oh, brains, I need to eat some brains." But maybe they're gonna pull it off and it's gonna actually look interesting, so I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. And luckily it's less than a week and I'm not gonna get over this 2 weeks break because, why? Anyway, moving on to the next comment, and we have here App Ross. I didn't see you talk about Sarah forgetting about donuts. What do you think about Ethan just forgetting he learned where the Lake of Tears came from? Well, Ethan didn't forget where the Lake of Tears come from because he kinda invented the Lake of Tears. In episode 3, I think, of this season, season 4, Jade is saying to Ethan, you let me get this straight, so you invented the Lake of Tears or for this game? And Ethan is like, not a game, a story, because we are all here trapped in a story that came to life.
You made up this Lake of Tears.
But it's interesting about Sarah and the donuts because I remember noticing this, and then when I was making my review, I kind of thought to myself, maybe she's just, been here for way too long. And this is why she's like, oh, I even forgot about donuts. I kind of stopped thinking about this because this fucked up place made me try to kill a little child and kill my brother, and there hear some voices, and then kiss Toby, and then kill Toby, and then cut his tongue. So I was not really thinking about donuts. But still, yeah, this moment was kind of weird because she was like, donuts? What the fuck is donuts?
Oh, donuts. Yeah, I forgot about donuts.
Now, honestly, when I heard this, I started to go off the reservation and into the tinfoil hat area because we know that Sarah was in a bad relationship and she was saved by Nathan. And in my fantasy, she already lives in some kind of a sect, I don't know, some kind of a cult. And they're like, ooh, we are not gonna eat donuts, never donuts, because it's Satan's hole is inside of it or something like this. But obviously, it's not the case. Most likely, it's not the case. So I'm thinking this is a question to everybody who's watching this video right now. What do you think? Is this moment weird?
Forgot about donuts.
Or it's just her basically, being for way too long at this place. What is it? She's like 3-4 months there, I think, something like this. She's been 2 months when Matthews arrived. She's there like one of the newest people that arrived there. So yeah, 2-3 months. And she already forgot about donuts? What do you think? Like, I would love to pick up your brains here. because I don't want to sound completely ridiculous. Even though my motto is there is no such detail as, my motto is there is no detail too little to be noticed. But then again, maybe it's just way too much already. So yeah, the mic is turned to you. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Is it something, or is it just, her being basically too fucked up by this place that she forgot about donuts? Question. So it's not exactly a question, more of a comment number 3. Violet Fern 9885. Forgive me if this has been covered before, but if it has, I have not seen it. Not remember it. Has it been noted that there seems to be no past counterpart to Julie? Like she seems to be the only character ever that can story walk. If the town can manifest fear and faith, did Ethan create the story walk character because he came into the town with the concept of story walking already embedded within him? That's a very interesting thought. Now, we have this theory that maybe Eloise, also Miranda's daughter, like past reincarnation of Tabitha right now, maybe she also had an ability to story walk, but she was way younger than Julie, so she would probably not gonna be able to do it in the same level as Julie does. Still, she's a grown-up, sort of a grown-up. She's 16, 17 years old, still not a 9-year-old kid. But yeah, we don't have any confirmation, but I love your idea that maybe the whole concept of story walking was created by Ethan, but then again, like Ethan's story walking supposed to be based on the book, like the the great adventures of the Grand Gulligog. Never gonna get tired of saying this. And so it's not the same, right? I've seen Julie trying to story walks, trying to use the bookmark, but it didn't work. Also, the first time Julie's story walking is through the ruins when she was tortured, when her soul was kidnapped, or whatever this is. So I guess even if Ethan created this, he created it so intricately. Yeah, and we can see that probably this is not the case, but I love the way you think. Like, there's many times that I read your comments and I choose your comments not necessarily because I agree with you and you find something that I'm saying myself, oh my god, this is exactly what it is, but sometimes I'm enjoying how your brains work. Like, there are so many people and we have all different baggage here, so when we analyze material, when we analyze clues, a lot of us will go in different directions, and for me, this is part of the fun. Like, when I'm saying that I like From, not just because of the TV show, I love Fromily, its community, and this whole break between one episode and the other this week of getting to know your brains, this is sometimes even way bigger fun for me than actually watching the episode and getting an answer or a clue or something like this. So I just love it. I love it. Anyway, moving on. So question number 4. Once again, not a question, more a theory. Hey, hi man, I very much like your analysis. Thank you so much. I very much like your comment and I love the compliments. I want to share a scene experience with you. In season 3, episode 8, when Julie's story walked to where Martin tied up and Boyd in the hole trapped, and Martin told Julie to leave this place immediately, and Julie went through the door in that chamber where Martin tied up, and it leads to tunnels, caves, and there Julie sees the light coming inside the caves where kids repeatedly saying Ankui, Ankui, Ankui. What I'm thinking is Julie's story walked to time where the kids were being sacrificed and the kids crying in pain while saying Ankui, Ankui, Ankui. What do you think about that? And also she heard Tabitha and Victor's voice as well. I'm confused about that light in the caves. Might be the time kids were being sacrificed. I actually think you're on point here. I probably even talked about this while I was analyzing season 2. Because, or season 3, sorry, because she's going back to season 2, right? The first scene she sees through story walking is her being trapped with Randall and Marielle here in the ruins, and then she sees Boyd trapped there. Simultaneously, she sees something that happened in the same time or just a little bit earlier, which is Victor and Tabitha going through the caves, and then she hears the Ankui, 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 which logically means she is seeing the sacrifice. So we already know where the sacrifice took place. We have seen Jade's vision. It all again comes back to Boy in White words. All the questions to the end are at the beginning, and the beginning is the sacrifice. So Julie needs to story work so much So she will be able to actually see what happened there and maybe somehow discover who this is, who is this power, how do you stop it maybe, hopefully. So information from Jade, information from Julie together, it will probably give more tools to our characters to destroy this evil and to destroy the curse. So yeah, but what doesn't make that much sense to me is the jumps, like the jumps that she was taking. You can see like the end of season 2, then the beginning of season 2, and then what, like 1506 or whatever, even 1784, 1764, doesn't really matter, but the jump to the Ankui children being sacrificed is pretty big time-wise. So there probably needed to be more events in the middle, but I don't know. You know, while I'm answering to you, I'm starting to think maybe Julie was not going necessarily back in time, like time traveling, because once again, it's story walking. While she's in ruins, maybe, or she's in caves, wherever this is, she basically sees only the chapters that took place in this location. So she sees Martin, she sees Tabitha and Victor in the caves, and the sacrifice was also in the cave, so she sees the sacrifice. But then again, now in season 4, the ruins sent her to the forest, and then they sent her to the town, so it doesn't make any sense. Fuck, I kind of started to like this, and then I disproved myself. Anyway, moving on. I think now Donna has technically died, her nightmare will be brought to life and she'll have to face it. Seems like it'll be important. So Matthew Lambert 6682. It would be extremely interesting if her clinical death of some sort, because she was dead and then she somehow came back to life, not through defibrillator, but through the power of Boyd. Now she's back to life, so if this place somehow stops you from moving on, maybe she will have some insights for our characters. Like, you know, I saw the Lake of Tears, Jim was there, Katri was there, Tom the bartender was there, even Dale was there, and I kicked him again and I punched him again, so yeah, well, maybe this is gonna be like a cheat code, because you basically have a woman on the inside. So Donna was like, yeah, I know exactly where the Lake of Tears is, where the souls are, who is the man in yellow, hey, Sophia, come here, I'm gonna choke you, you motherfucker. Anyway, moving on, but yeah, hopefully it's not gonna be dragged too much. If this is the case, Donna is not gonna wake up in the end of season 5, hopefully she's gonna wake up and speak and tell us something interesting already in episode 7, or you know what, I'm gonna be generous, episode 8. But let's stop dragging things out. More answers, more answers. Everybody, I want to hear you with me. More answers right now. We want it now. And I'm gonna go to comment number 6. Levi Moncure Blacksmith. Sophia playing with her foot. Yeah, kinda. I like it. And what if our golem is inside of Boyd's now? Oh, I'm following you. Well, I'm not following you. I don't think Boyd swings that way, so Golem will be inside of him. We always forget Alice also has Boyd's blood. Yeah, he does. We kinda does it, you know, because he's his son, even without the blood transfusion that happened in season 2. Why would Man in Yellow help Boyd with the music box? He told Boyd, hurry, run before the music stops or they're going to come and get... Gotcha. That funny Martin. Yeah, this is why I cannot really buy that Martin is the Man in Yellow, because like his first words to Boyd were, "You're gonna have to kill me." What is even the point of that? Like, I mean, you can argue that maybe he was just pretending and lying, but then again, for what? I don't know about you, but usually when I lie, and I lie sometimes, because I really need something, like I need to, I don't know, like, I can't even remember the last time I lied. Well, but if I'm gonna say, like, I'm thinking about school, if I'm saying to my parents that I didn't get a bad grade, is because I don't want to get grounded. Yeah, so if you can tell the truth, or you know what, if your goal is basically to transfer your blood, your tainted blood from you to Boyd, you can do what Martin did eventually, which is basically grab Boyd, scratch his arm, and then say to him, my blood is your blood.
My blood is your blood now.
By the way, the transmitting blood from Martin to Boyd took Pretty much less than a second. You can rewatch this moment. It's like, my blood is your blood. Boom, that's it, dead. And suddenly Boyd has his blood. So yeah, I'm not buying the fact, so far I'm not buying the fact that Martin is the man in yellow. And if he is, I hope that creators is gonna explain it somehow. What was even the point of all this spectacle, of all this presentation, of this acting. What is it for? No idea. Let's move on. We have FAQ computers. Well, I probably promoted your business right now. If you have frequently asked questions about computers, you can ask FAQ computers. What you said about Ethan inventing the Lake of Tears is not true. In episode 1, Julie is talking the story and makes up the Lake of Tears. She is the first one to mention the lake, and this was before they even showed the books. So according to episode 1, Julie made the Lake of Tears. Well, not exactly. I mean, you kind of confused me a little bit because, yes, technically you're correct. Julie was the first one to mention the Lake of Tears. And then Ethan is like, but you know, the fairies from the Lake of Tears are gonna come and save him. So technically, yes, she was the first one to say the Lake of Tears, but the whole conversation suggests that this is Ethan's invention. Because, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm telling you, so Roger went to take a pen, and then he killed himself with the pen. And then you say to me, but what about the pen's saving abilities? When you click it twice, it can actually bring you to life. Where did you come up with this information if I was the one to invent the pen? So if Julie was the one to invent the Lake of Tears in this conversation, how would Ethan know that the fairies from the Lake of Tears can come and save him? You see, like he adding information because he was the one to invent the Lake of Tears. And as I already said in this video, in episode 3, season 4, Jerry said, you are the one invented the Lake of Tears. So if Ethan probably would have corrected him if it was Julie. Yeah, and it has no relation to books. It's not Krominokel, it's not Gruliguk, it's not whatever this is. It's Ethan's invention, it's his story. So yeah, Lake of Tears, not connected to books, and yes, it's Ethan's invention. So thank you so much, but you made me go and check everything, and I appreciate this. I like it when you make me smarter about this TV show. Thank you. Whoa, good catch on the bowling pins. I didn't even notice those. On this topic, remember when Tabitha and Victor were in the caves and there was that little creature behind bars built into the wall? So Pac-Man Woka, that little creature is one of the Ankui kids. It's just they were playing there. Didn't that creature roll a little ball and knock over the little Jenga-like tower? That kind of reminded me of bowling. Yeah, I remember thinking about that too. Also, fun fact, the title of episode 5, or A Long Stretch Trip, is a lyric from a Grateful Dead song, Truckin', which also has a line in about being put behind bars, busted after being set up like a bowling pin, and then knocked down. Probably just a coincidence, but once again, when you make me smarter, I appreciate this, and yeah, I was not listening to Grateful Dead for a long time already. You kind of reminded me to pick up some kind of a playlist, because this is a very good band. Gotta be a coincidence, but still thought it was worth mentioning. Yeah, we agree here, it's probably a coincidence, most likely it is, because the bowling pins are not some kind of a very crucial plot line here, so probably not. But then again, like once again, you can see this is why we are a community. This is why I like reading those comments. This is why I like making videos about your comments, because this is so fucking awesome. Because when there are so many interesting people together, you have fun knowing and learning new things. It's awesome. I don't have any other word to describe it. It's fucking awesome. Okay, so next. Just my Cooper TA. Seriously, why did Ethan heal so fast from his broken leg, but Christy is still limping around on her splint and sprained ankle? But look at it, Ethan and Alice, they're pretty much the ones who heal very fast, right? We see, I don't know, Boyd is not healing super fast, but he was not really injured that much. He was shot, but he was not shot with like, the wound was not really horrible there. But Christy, yeah, it's been a while already. And in real world, in normal world, she after this kind of an injury that she had in the beginning of season 3, it would take you months to recover. But once again, we're in Fromville. With the injury that Ethan had in the beginning of season 1, you can sometimes spend half a year just to recover. You fucking had a full spike in your leg. It's like there is a very good chance you're not gonna recover and you're gonna be limping all your life, or even you're gonna lose a leg in this situation. So, and he was like almost the next day already, let me break dance here for you. So yeah, is it Ethan and Ellis are special somehow? Is it them were saved by this place, or once again something willing them to recover, like Boyd willed Donna to recover here? Don't know, but once again, very excited to learn more about this. Moving on, Julia Samolienko, ZW1PR. Oh, this is really starting to remind me a lot of Lost. Only now, come on, it's season 4. It started to remind Lost somewhere in the beginning of season 1. Both stories seem to involve two opposing forces connected to a mysterious location. They also share the idea that an evil entity is confined there and cannot leave, because its escape would threaten the outside world. This is starting to feel very similar. My concern is that if they could end up following the same path as Lost, the place exists primarily to keep an evil force trapped. Children are sacrificed to maintain that purpose, and the people there are doomed to remain because someone always has to guard it. If that happens, the cycle will just keep repeating endlessly. Now, my memory of Lost is a little bit less, let's say, perfect than From, obviously, but I do remember that there were two forces there, Jacob and the Black Smoke, I think, and they were bound to the island since their birth, like since the creation of those two forces. And in From, if we take into consideration everything that we know, that this place is created through sacrifice of the Ankui children, and whatever feeds on hope and misery here is ancient, like probably thousands and thousands of years old. So this ancient shitty thingy that terrorizes everybody was alive and kicking way before the sacrifice. So this place doesn't really contain it, like its purpose is not to contain the evil inside of it, otherwise it's gonna escape and terrorize everything. It was terrorizing apparently everybody until the creation of Fromville. So they just gonna come back to status quo. So I don't think that it necessarily exists to keep the evil inside. Maybe it just happened that way. But I think mostly it exists to repeat the story. It's kind of like a setting. Think about it like a stage. A big stage where the story is supposed to take place over and over again until Ankui children will be released from the curse. Whatever the curse is. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Justify Hero. I think a few puzzle pieces came together. Sarah and Water. She feared that her madness will transfer if someone would drink from the same glass. Yes, we remember that. I don't see how it connects to anything. Or is it just 3-4 puzzle pieces? Sophia put her blood into the glass and we can assume that she infected Henry. Okay, now I see the connection. Okay, Boyd's wife slowly gone mad before shooting everyone and saying that it's a dream. If it didn't happen overnight and we didn't see her story. But what if while Boyd was away, his wife began talking to someone in town, making friends? And what if she got to drink something with Man in Yellow's blood, and that idea, everything is a dream, got put into her head like a virus? Could this be Henry's future? I actually like the idea that Henry is the next Martin. Okay, and Martin was probably somehow tainted, contaminated by maybe Man in Yellow's blood. Don't know exactly how it unfolded, but it kind of makes more sense to me. I don't think so. I don't think that, maybe, once again, I can be wrong here, maybe during Abby's time, the Man in Yellow was already there, but it doesn't make any sense to me because we can see that, once again, there is a pattern. Like, he arrived as the Man in Yellow in the end of the cycle of Victor, and then, like, when Abby was killing everybody, it was not the end of the cycle. So I don't know. So P.S. Sophia, no, sorry, 4. In this episode, Boyd brings back up Martin. That's not a coincidence. Martin mentioned Boyd's wife, and he asked, "What is it all a dream?" Yeah, exactly. Sophia was clearly just pretending to be drunk. She was in control of that situation the whole time. The actress is great at being creepy. Yeah, I actually read a couple of comments like that. Like I was a little bit criticizing her for playing drunk too drunky, like this is exactly how you play it. And I can see your point. Like I understand. It's very difficult as a good actor to pretend to play something bad. But if you remember how she was pretending when her father died, everybody bought it, me including. So honestly, it's not matter that much right now because we can agree to disagree here. And it's not like I'm saying that she's a bad actress. She's obviously amazing. Most of the time she's amazing, but in this moment I was just not buying it. And that's it. Like, it's not like, once again, I'm not saying that she's bad because one little moment in one episode. The show is imperfect. Every show is imperfect, I agree. There are pacing issues. Then 626, I agree with you completely. Sometimes the dialogue is poorly written. Hard agree here, okay, but I freaking love it. And we are still in agreement. Yeah, I don't know any perfect TV show. And From is far away from perfect. But there's something very addictive about it. You can see its weaker sides. You can see sometimes very slow or even sometimes pretty much bad moments. Like not a very good writing, not a very good acting. I remember this dude in the end of season 2, oh my god, what kind of a community college is the fuck is that? They may or may not ultimately stick the landing, but this show is one big exciting original swing and the entire team, cast, writers, producer deserve a crap ton of credit. I agree with you completely. You know, this is just something I wanted to say about the previous comment. We live in this era, like if you say like, you know what, I'm gonna rate this TV show 8 out of 10. So you didn't like it? What the fuck are you talking about? It's 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's not perfect. There are some things that I didn't like, but overall, I enjoyed it. You know what? I'm gonna rate it 6.5 out of 10. Oh my god, it's so bad? What the hell are you talking about? 6.5 out of 10 is above average. You know, average is not that bad right now. We live in 2026. We have, you know, seen so many TV shows. It's just so overwhelmed by content. We have amazing creative teams. We have amazing CGI. The technology is incredible. So if I'm saying it's 6 or 0.5 or even 7, it's above average. But if I'm saying this like, okay, this TV show, yeah, I kind of like it, but some moments I didn't like. There are sometimes weak acting. There is, you can see that production value is definitely lower than most TV shows that we watch right now. Oh my god, it's so bad. No, it's fucking amazing. It's just not perfect. That's all. So I agree with you completely. I just want to be honest. When I'm criticizing something, it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like it. I'm just trying to provide my honest take, what I like, what I didn't like. Believe me, if I don't like TV show, you will understand it pretty quick. So then Dech 626, extremely agreeing here with you with both my hands, legs, heads, Russian sayings, my accent, everything here agrees with you. Yeah, there are many things to criticize from, but with everything, it's still one of the greatest mystery TV shows we have been watching in the last decade. Okay, so Big Daddy Gonzo. The voices are story prompts, keeping the story moving forward. The boy in white is a blank page, whenever characters improve, and the man in yellow is a ThinkPad, causing motion or stimulation to the story. The whole thing is a story in Ethan's or Victor's mind during their trauma counseling while looking at a snow globe of Fromville where the characters they created in their mind take place. No, I 100% love the way you think, especially I love the connection between the man in yellow and a ThinkPad. Mwah, chef's kiss, absolutely love it. But no, we have a confirmation. It's not a dream. It's not a purgatory. Nobody's gonna wake up in the end of the TV show and be like, oh my god, it was all just a dream. No, and good, because they are creating a lore, a modern day fable, like John Griffin said. So let's enjoy this.
You know, and one of the things too that was like kind of baked into the design of the show was the idea of creating this ever expanding canvas, like creating a show that has a mythology and a, kind of in a way creating a modern day fable, or at least striving to create a type of modern day fable. It's not purgatory and it's not a dream.
So Akilai Kub 2538. Donna technically died for a few moments. Knowing that souls get trapped here, I think Donna might have gone to the Lake of Tears, and she might be the one who convinces everyone that it is real. Now, I usually try to filter those comments so they don't repeat themselves. Probably made a mistake. Pretty much we talked about this already. So yeah, if Donna died and actually went to the Lake of Tears or something similar to it, she's probably not gonna wake up and gonna be like, I saw the Lake of Tears. It was a drawing on the wall. You were there and Mom was there and me and Julie, but somebody screamed because the spider came down from the ceiling. Probably she's not gonna say that, but maybe she's gonna wake up and see something like, oh, Father Katri says hello. Oh, I've seen your father. His name is Jim. He looks nice. My god, this dude is handsome, huh? Anyway, Alin Romero 9308. I've been wondering a lot whether the massacre in this cycle was actually supposed to be what Abby tried to do, but ended up being stopped by a boy. That would have been something the town could have possibly have predicted, since he was her partner. Maybe that's why he's been a target for the town ever since. Love this theory, but I do believe it's not the case. I was thinking about the massacre being, the Colony House massacre in season 1, episode 7. It just doesn't work with the logic. We have the man in yellow arriving, and now suddenly everybody, Father Katri, the boy in white, saying, you are running out of time. We didn't have any of that. Not in the period of Abby. The boy in white didn't appear at all. And when he started to appear during the Colony House massacre, he was not rushing everybody. He was just, Victor, you go to the caves, you're gonna meet Tabitha, take your time, chill out a little bit, there's no sun, you can rest a little bit. So it doesn't necessarily work, but yeah, it sounds interesting. I had this theory that maybe Abby was supposed to be the mother figure. Maybe she was also some kind of a reincarnation. I don't know if it's gonna work out. Probably not already, as a lot of people writing to me in the comments many times that we already feel that the fans' theories are way better than the show. And maybe it's the case, but then again, we wouldn't have those theories without the show, so we will thank the show anyway. Okay, so we have 5 more comments, and Christy Nelson, she's saying, I have a good theory on why the town looks like it's stuck in the 50s. Okay, so listen, the town takes its latest residence era and conforms to that latest era. So when all the residents of the 50s died, post the 50s massacre, it became the 50s era. But it was already the 50s era, I think. That occurred right when Victor, his family, and Christopher arrived, but they didn't arrive during the massacre. The town would have changed into the 70s era when Victor died after that whole 1970s massacre, but after the massacre Victor was still alive. Therefore, the town itself was never able to shapeshift on this 70s time period or any time period thereafter. Well, it kinda did, because the music boxes in the diner, they are mostly from the 70s. As far as I know, I'm not expert, but I do know that the technology in the Colony House, the fridge, the stove, other things, they are most definitely from the 70s. So there are 70s elements in the town. But I love the way you think, like, so there was a massacre and massacre resets everything, like the reality changes, but since one person survived, somehow the change didn't happen. The town stayed the same. That's very interesting. I'm once again, I'm not agreeing here with you, but maybe Victor's not dying somehow influenced the cycle. It's probably something that actually happened. Once again, good catch. What do you think, guys? Pretty proud of myself for this theory, LOL. You should be proud of any theory, even if it doesn't really come true. I mean, let's talk a little bit about my channel's name. It's called Geek Academy, and everybody keeps calling me geek. And I love being a geek, because, the definition of geek is somebody who obsesses about something way too much. If you are, I don't know, sports geek, then you are like, you know everything about sports. You read about sports, you watch sports. If you're a movie geek, then you watch all the movies. You don't watch a movie a week, you watch movie every day like Tom Cruise. And whatever this is, fantasy geek, I don't really care. You can be a cool motorcycle geek, whatever, doesn't really matter. But being a geek is being obsessed about something, living it completely. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, yeah, you can be cool and not really care about anything. And like, oh my God, I'm so cool. I don't care about anything. But when you're gonna be laying on your dying bed, do you really want to look at your life and think to yourself, yeah, I lived a cool life. I didn't really care about anything that much. I was just a little bit into that, a little bit into that. I'm a big geek about something. Enjoy your theories, watch from and create theories, and just express it with everybody who's willing to listen. And if you're not right, and if I'm not right, who gives a fuck? We are enjoying the process. Nobody's gonna give us a prize. In the end of season 5, nobody's gonna, like John Griffin is not gonna pop up in my apartment and is gonna tell me, oh, Igor Economy, here is a pizza. You were correct about this and that. Nah. So let's enjoy the process. You should be very proud of your theory because it's really a very interesting catch. Even though I don't agree that this town needs to, reset itself, but I do believe that this whole point of Victor surviving is definitely somehow crucially influenced the cycle repeating itself over and over again. Okay, Jordi Blancard 5804. In season 1, Ethan talks to Tabitha when they're in the supply closet and says that in Chrominocle the lonely dragon goes through the discarded things, but ends up finding the map to help the Chrominocle. I'm paraphrasing, but it's definitely got me thinking, that compares directly to Acosta and Boyd now. Kinda. Well, yeah, that's a very interesting catch. She's the lonely dragon looking through discarded stuff in the basement and she will find something that will help Boyd. Now, at this point, at any point, if Acosta is not gonna find anything, this is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you heard about Chekhov's guns, right, on the wall. And if in the beginning, in the first scene, there's Chekhov's gun, in the end of the play, is somebody supposed to shoot from the gun. And Acosta looking for interesting things in Colony House basement is not Chekhov's gun, it's Chekhov's, I don't know, submarine machine gun, whatever this is, like Vulcan machine gun, the one that shoots, I think, 2,000 bullets in 1 minute. Because, I mean, she has to find something, otherwise what was the fucking point? To save Acosta? Who gives a fuck? I mean, she's not a living, breathing person. As an audience, I don't give a shit about Acosta unless there is something dramatic that's gonna happen with her. Like if the creators make me care about her and believe that she's real in the moment, right? This is how art works. This is why we can watch a play on a stage and we can see a lot of people around us, but we can still cry because whatever left whatever and now they are sad. This is how art works. In this moment, we believe, we feel that it's real. So it's not gonna be anything about Acosta if she's not gonna find her. In the end of season, she's like, okay, boy, thank you so much. I wanted to kill myself and now I don't want. And by the way, I didn't find anything. What kind of writing is that? Obviously, they're gonna find something. And a very good catch with the dragon. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if it's a intended parallel, like they really planted it that way, which knowing the creators probably they did, so incredible catch. Okay, the Lady Murphy. So I'm thinking about Boyd powers, and guess what? Boyd means yellow in Gaelic. Maybe Boyd is somehow turning into man in yellow? Well, Boyd was talking about I don't like who I'm becoming, looking in the mirror, washing his face, but I don't believe in his, physical transformation here. Don't know. Even, maybe, you know what? Thinking about this, the man in yellow transforms into somebody. Maybe he needs something from people. No, doesn't make sense to me. Like if he can shapeshift, why would he need somebody else to replace him? Right? It's doesn't make any sense to me right now, but once again, everything is possible. When before the episode, I don't remember, episode 3 or episode 4, people told me, okay, Fatima is making Golem. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, what are you talking about? Golem is a Jewish mythology. She's from Iran. How? And what she's gonna do with the Golem? What, she's gonna write a mat on his forehead and he's gonna come to life and start fighting with Smiley? And it looks like this is exactly what's gonna happen. So yeah, everything is possible in From. And what about what you said about miracles and nightmares? Donna said to Fatima when she told about the pregnancy that miracle is just the other side of a nightmare. So we got a connection. That's also a very interesting catch. Yeah, well, I mean, we have people healing here fast. And now we are seeing Boyd creating miracles around them. So maybe, yeah, this is something that can actually work, but I was actually thinking about dream. Maybe this place somehow connected to dream, but then John Griffin said directly, this is not a dream, this is not purgatory, this is not a dream. But once again, this not being a dream, maybe it's somehow just connected to dreams. Maybe dreams have power here. Maybe they come to life in this place. Your dreams and nightmares. This show will drive me insane eventually. Or I'm just gonna become the smartest person on earth, or I'm gonna become a psychopath in an asylum. Okay, so cause U3K, about a cost of leaping to the pyramid slide, then a lake slide after Jade saying that two children's bones and being kept like pharaohs. That sequence felt deliberate. I think the pyramid slide is a reference to the children's bones in the underground crypts, and the lake slide to the Lake of Tears. Maybe, but then again, we see already, we checked, this is like some kind of a lake in Switzerland, so doesn't really connect. The Egyptians preserved the bodies because the body was tied to the soul's fate in the afterlife, and Jade says the children's bones keep their spirits contained. So the pyramid lake sequence could mean the crypts hold the bones and the Lake of Tears hold the spirits those bones are tied to. Interesting, I like the way you think. Or it points to the lake as the cure. Ethan said the Lake of Tears can heal, so maybe the lake isn't where the spirits are trapped, but where they get healed or saved, released. Either way, I think the Master View slides point to this season 2 big questions, destinations. Jade going to crypt with the children's bones and Ethan to the Lake of Tears. I love the way you think, very interesting. I love that you think that the souls are... I don't really actually see the souls being healed, like, I don't think they can come back to life. Maybe the Lake of Tears will serve as some kind of a gateway to release the soul so they will move on to paradise or whatever. But I don't see them actually suddenly becoming alive and then, you know what, buy me a PlayStation because now I'm a modern day kid. Update, people in the comments have identified the lake as Oceaninsea, Switzerland. What do you mean people in the comments? I identified it in the video. It's written there on the slide. And here's an interesting fact I found about it. Oceanessi has no surface outflow. Massive prehistoric rock sides block the water flow. Its water drains straight down in the ground, travels underground through the rocks, and finally bursts back out as a stream. So the show picked a real lake whose water sinks into the earth and then re-emerges. That might be connection between Oceanessi Lake, Lake of Tears, and Pyramid Crypts with children's bones. Maybe the lake isn't simply where the spirits of the dead are trapped, it's the passage down to the bones and back out to escape through a river stream. There were cave paintings of people arriving in boats. Boyd's arrival backstory is built around If I Had a Boat song and the boat his family secretly bought him. When Boyd and Sarah found Lighthouse, they heard a ship's horn. They heard the lighthouse horn probably, and Tabitha, the only person that escaped through the lighthouse. That's the only way according to Boy and White. So maybe water is the final escape mechanism. There's this movie by, I don't remember, M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, I don't remember her name, with people trapped in the forest and in the night there are monsters, which is very similar to From, and they escape there through water. So a friend of mine, Evgeny from Gaze For You, has a theory that they're also gonna escape through water and kinda makes sense. I'm gonna agree, it's gonna make sense. I may be reading too much into it, but I found these connections interesting and hard to ignore. I agree with you, maybe you are reading too much into it, but this is exactly what we all do here, right? You cannot blame people for reading too much into From when From entices you so much to read too much into it. So love, 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 and the last comment, the primordial junction. I agree with you, the ancient evil entity existed before the children were sacrificed. It makes sense. If it didn't exist before the sacrificed, what for they were sacrificed the children then? Who was this entity that promised the immortality? Obviously, it existed before the sacrifice. I think the evil entity lied to the original townspeople. The ritual it manipulated them into committing was not a ritual to endow eternal life. It could have endowed eternal life to any willing recipient. No, the ritual was a ritual designed to grow those roots from the symbol into a tree. Only the lullabies caused one child to maintain their hope. Well, even the creators kind of said, like, the whole point of Smiley returning again in season 3 is to pay off on the townspeople receiving immortality. So they did receive immortality. It's just, they didn't read the dotted line. You're not gonna just be immortal, you're gonna be immortal, but you're also gonna be a monster that kills people and eats them. Okay, born in the dark and died in the dark, killed in the dark. That's how the sacrifices were defined to us, the viewer. I think it's meant to imply that children were made to live such awful lives they would be willing to die, making them willing sacrifice. Only one child maintained hope and used that hope to blackmail the ancient evil entity into game played in its prison. I don't see that, honestly. Once again, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see it. They were all screaming on Kui on the stones, right? Everybody demanded to remember them. So not one of them has hope, everybody has hope. It wants to escape because it wants to create hell on earth, hence the Book of Revelations reference. It was creating hell on earth for thousands and thousands of years before the sacrifice, so it wasn't really that much successful, right? People did survive pretty well, not as good as right now, obviously, with the 23rd century's technologies, but still, like this, there was no hell on earth before the sacrifice, so there's not gonna be hell on earth if suddenly the man in yellow will escape this place. But once again, yeah, interesting the way all of you think. And thank you so much. And once again, if I didn't read your comment, maybe it's just because I missed it and it's not because I deemed it not interesting. Also, I cannot make those videos for 2 hours long. I need a break. My mouth hurts already. I need a gym for my mouth or something like this. Once again, my dirty mind is telling me to shut the fuck up. And thank you all for watching this video. I know it's not as popular as my reviews and it doesn't get that many views, but I love those, and the positive feedback that I'm getting is extremely satisfying and motivating to make more of those. And I do enjoy this aspect of, it kind of makes me feel closer to you. I don't know if it makes sense to you. I mean, we have sometimes so much interesting conversation, and for the most part, if I'm gonna see you on the street, I'm not gonna even recognize you because all I see are the nicknames. And it just helps me to give you some kind of, like, I'm imagining a face of some sort, I'm looking at the avatars, I'm giving you way more thought and way more focus when I'm just reading and scrolling through the comments, and it just makes me feel, as I told you, closer to you, my audience. And I love, adore, and worship my audience because you guys and girls make my dream come true. So hopefully you will keep enjoying those videos because yeah, it's fun for me to make them and I hope you like them. And as usual, expanding on that thought, I make those videos for you to enjoy them. Everything else, like, subscribe, comments, support on Patreon and YouTube members, is a very nice bonus. But I've been slacking. I didn't thank, personally, a lot of people who joined lately to my channel and support me on YouTube members, so since this video is already pretty long, let me just read you a very interesting list of people that are helping making those videos come true. So we have a new motivator, Tannen Holtz, a champion, Nicole Carriters. We have Olga Magdanova, motivator. Another motivator came back to the channel, The Witcher Brew with the... And then another motivator climbed Einstein 962, and then a champion 5Ginger7329. Update with Nay motivator. I'm just a phantom, beacon of light. Thank you so much for the support. KJ the Great One, Richard Booth, Olga Reinhold 3733, JD 1991, Junova Knows, Ryle Stoyson, What the Fuck 9445, Camilla Fire, Carl Bean Hoso 6476, Brain Power, Wickedly Moore, it's called nickname, Capt Shriver, Steffi World, Nicole Robinson, John Forsberg, The Yo Own, Tristan Sanders, Elizabeth Rowe, all of those people are motivators. And I have a crazy beacon of light, because being beacon of light is crazy helping me. Lisa Paquin 1196, thank you so much. Delcinia Dame Stalker rejoined, And One King, Matilda John, my little Matilda John 8599, also as a motivator. Another beacon of light, Tracy Black 1602, Megan Dolan 8347 as a motivator, Jewiller motivator, Stephanie Newman 1319 also another motivator, and Aline Romero motivator. And the last one, but definitely not the least, because this is a beacon of light today, Lita B. Thank you all so much. This is incredible for me, seeing so many people here, so many faces. It's amazing. This support, I mean, financially it's nice. Of course, it's somewhere around $120 a month just from this support, which is obviously nice. It's not a living money, but nice. But once again, it's not about the sun. It's about this crazy fact. After so many years, I'm not gonna be able to comprehend it completely, that there are people who don't have to pay money for my content, but they choose to support me. This is motivating beyond belief. This is also creating some sort of an order for me. This is my audience. This is my boss. Let me explain. We all have a boss. Even if you are the biggest businessman in the world, your boss is your client. This is my client. You are all my clients if I'm looking at this as a business. And the product that I'm providing you is entertainment. So when I see something like this, I know that you enjoy my content. But I also know that I better not be slacking, that I not be lazy, that I better keep improving and not stagnate or stay in the same lane all the time, that I always need to get better and better and better, because there are some people that put so much trust in me that I better be, better be worth it. Just thinking all the time that I need to be worth it is what motivates me and keeps me in line. So thank you once again. I appreciate it beyond words. I cannot right now stop talking because I'm trying to find some words that will express exactly how I feel about this support, and there are none. Okay, but I do hope that you realize how important this is to me. Once again, saying all of it, it should never come from the point of, oh, I probably should support this guy, I can see how he needs it or whatever. No, only if it comes from the heart, only if you feel like, you know what, whatever, $2, $3, $5, $10, I don't really care about this money, and I do love this content. Only then when it comes from the heart, from the soul, from your uncui essence, only then you just consider it. Please, I have to say that because I don't want to feel like I manipulated somebody to support me on Patreon or here on YouTube members. Yeah, long fucking speech. I should probably definitely finish. I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Meanwhile, bye.